Hey, everybody, welcome into the first of hopefully will be very mini Zoom reunions that we're doing here for Lander. Today, we've got a really exciting treat for you. We've got the 2018 region champion Lander men's soccer team joining us to talk about that incredible season 2 years ago. Quickly, just going to introduce everybody for those of you that maybe aren't familiar with this club. So, guys, I'll introduce you, and if you can just briefly kind of say what you're doing now that you've moved on from Lander. We've got all seniors from that 18 team here. So we'll start with Jordan Skelton. He wore the captain's armband for the Bearcats. He was going to be on his way to being a two-time All-American. Jordan, what's going on with you right now?
Hey, Rickson. I'm currently in Statesboro, Georgia. Play for Tormentor FC. We're just kind of probably similar to everybody else, just in lockdown. Trying to stay busy, trying to stay fit, trying to stay healthy. Just waiting for the ball to start being able to play football again, really.
And we've got Richard Bryan, who's also recently signed a professional contract. Rich was a defender for the Bearcats, part of that great Lander defense. What's up with you, man?
Yeah, not much for me. Similar to Scouts, really. Obviously, I started at St. Louis in Missouri. Just like Scouts, we're here in lockdown, just trying to stay fit and keep positive and everything right now. But yeah, just try and make the most of things.
Michael Leach, who was a senior for that 2018 team, I remember going to Lander during his career. Michael, what's up with you, man?
Yeah, back in England at the minute. Currently on lockdown. Just got to stay safe. Don't obviously go out and stuff like that. Still playing a bit of Sunday League back in England. I've currently got a job on a graduate management scheme, so just taking it from there, really. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Tyler Bolton was a crucial part of that 2018 team. The Peach Belt Conference Tournament MVP, Tyler Bolton. Sorry, I didn't give you the proper intro, Bo. What's going on with you?
Take it off mute, Ty. That would help.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Sorry, Rickson. Edit that out. I'm same as everyone else in lockdown. Flying back to England in a few weeks as soon as just trying to time it so I fly home when the UK lift the restrictions, and just going back to England to play football or soccer. So just trying to stay safe, same as everyone else at the minute.
And then we've got Sia Jaminar and Sinclair Sandy. Again, two more seniors from that group. Sia had an incredibly memorable goal for the Bearcats in that regional against Anderson, and Sin came up big time and time again. Fellas, what's going on?
We're currently in Sweden together, both. Not on lockdown, actually. We just playing football like normally, working, just being more reasonable with everything that happens, but not really on lockdown.
A bit cold, but getting through.
And we've got Oliver Ozzy Brock, big assist from him and a couple of big goals as well from him during his senior year. Ozzy, what's going on, buddy?
How you doing, Rickson? How you doing, lads? Well, basically, since leaving Lander, I've joined Self Regional. It's a hospital in Greenwood. Not really playing football anymore due to injuries, whatever. Kind of in lockdown, kind of not, helping people out, checking temperatures for the hospital. And that's pretty much it.
And then the last player we got joining us, Jamie North, crucial striker for the Bearcats. Jamie, what you been up to, man?
All right, Rickson, mate. Yeah, not a lot, to be fair. Just working from home. Don't know about striker, though. I mean, can score a goal, but don't know about that. Same as all the other lads, staying in. It's proper boring, to be fair. I'm struggling a bit, so it's good to get all the boys together and have a little chat.
And then finally, we got the gaffer, Lee Squires, Lee, I'm going to spoil it for you and tell people what you're doing. You're still the manager for Lander men's soccer, but how's everything going for you? You and I haven't got to talk in a while.
Yeah, obviously I'm still here, still trying to build that next great team. We've got a lot of freshmen that are kind of a year into the path that these boys went through, and just trying to build that next great team to even trying to eclipse what these boys managed to achieve a couple of years ago.
Well, guys, appreciate you joining. I got some questions for you, but I really just want to kind of sit back and let you and catch up and hear your memories of this special 2018 season. First question, I guess, Jamie, I'll start with you, and then I'll be interested to hear kind of where we go from there. But going into that senior campaign, you and all these guys have been on the program for several years. Was there a moment for any of you guys when you realized, hey, this group we got here, we could be a pretty special team? Was there a particular moment that stands out to you?
I think for me personally, my first year when Squires come in, when all the boys come in that fall, I thought, yeah, we got some players here. And then obviously we had Leach as well, who weren't great. But no, we had, I think from the moment that team got together, I think we had a chance of doing a few good things. And if I'm honest, I think we should probably done a bit better, I think, with the players that we had.
Rich, what about you? You were kind of in the same situation of having been a part of a couple tournament runs. Was there a moment where you thought, hey, we got something going here?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, it was early on for me. I thought, I think it was either one of our first games or it might have been a pre-season game where we won 3-0. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was against Limestone, or Wingate might have been, and Hugo scored that quality free kick. I think that game, obviously they were a big team, and I thought, well, we actually battered them. I thought, good group of players here. And that was literally my first year, and I thought, after 4 years, I thought we would honestly just win everything comfortably, really. But yeah, like North said, I thought we'd done better, but we had a fantastic team, a great team.
Lee, I remember being I think it was your first practice of the fall, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you talking at the end, and it seemed like maybe there was some tension of kind of integrating the new guys in with the older group and the guys that have been there for a while. Because I think I remember you talking about, hey, we got to get more together. It's a collection of individuals right now. We got to become more of a team. When did you feel like that process kind of got going in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, the first year we were a collection, like the boys said, of just good players. The second year, then it was a matter of, can we win something? And we ended up winning the regular season. The third year, then it was, how can we go one step further? And I think that was the year where we won a regular season and a conference tournament, but lost to Young Harris down in Florida in the Sweet 16. So I think coming back for all these boys senior year, we knew we could get there. The regular season and the conference tournament wasn't really the goal anymore. It was all trying to culminate in that region championship game. It just so happened to be in our main rivals' backyards. And, like one of the boys just said, it almost, as great as that day was, it almost still to this day seems like a bit of an underachievement, because we had the ability, I think, to go all the way. And unfortunately, in that Elite 8 game, I mean, just looking at the boys here, Mike wasn't available through injury. Northey wasn't really 100%. And then Ozzy and Tyler weren't fit enough to play the game either. So, you're talking about 4 players there that are massive to the team that are unavailable less than 48 hours after the biggest win we've ever had. So, a little bit of tinge of regret that we couldn't go on, 1 or 2 steps further, but still, a lot of memories. And it's the course of the 4 years where these boys came in with all the talent in the world and then used their experience towards the end to win a championship, and kind of what could have been even still to this day.
So let's get into that 2018 season. I had forgotten some of these games. I went back and looked at some of them today, but 3-0 after your first 3 matches. All of them were wins by 1 goal. You had the thrill against Alabama Huntsville in the season opener, scoring with 4 seconds left to win that one. You beat Anderson, who turned out to be a very good team, 1-0, and then 2 penalty kicks to beat Touchland 2-1. At that point, 3-0 going into the rivalry game against Erskine. Ozzy, from what you remember of the early part of that season, what did your team kind of learn in that early part of the season when you guys were really having to fight and fall out and win games early?
Yeah, I remember it, and the feeling I had from it was we was in second gear for most of it. We didn't really play to our potential like what they were all saying, because if you look around the team we had, we really probably should have done a lot better than what we did. But the early stages, the scraping wins, I remember a lot of the games we missed a handful of chances in each of them. But we did enough to win, and that's what we did in most games. So.
And then once you guys got through those first three, the first shutout streak, and I say first because you guys went on two of these. The first one starts with that 3-0 win over Erskine. I think from that point, it was, I think, 6 games in a row where you didn't allow a goal, and you guys were closing in on the program record for the longest streak of not giving up any goals. And then when that streak ended, you started another one and wound up setting the record. I'm just interested to hear from anybody. Did you guys ever talk about that? Did you ever talk about, hey, we've not allowed a goal in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Did that ever come up, or was it something that just kind of wasn't discussed?
Well, I mean, speaking obviously as a centre back, I remember Coach Squires had us set kind of to make clean sheets more of something to take pride in. And I remember we would start to almost like a tally. We kept a tally of clean sheets, and it was kind of like every time we kept a clean sheet, there's another one added to the board, another one added to the board, another one added to the board. So, it was never kind of anything that was more important than anything else, but it just became something that was important.
I think also like Skelt says, obviously we was aiming to keep clean sheets, but we knew if we kept clean sheets, then we were going to score. We knew we were going to get a goal in games eventually. We had the quality in the team for someone to pop up with a goal. So we knew keeping clean sheets, one of the boys would win us a game with a bit of quality or even a set piece. We knew we'd get that goal and win the game.
And going off of that, as you guys kind of started to gel and started to, as Ozzy said, get out of second gear and kind of kick this thing up a little bit. Sin, I want to ask you, but I'll be open to anybody. What were the practices like with this group? Because just looking at this, the people we got here, a highly competitive group of individuals we've got here. And I know there were some underclassmen on that team as well that would get after. What were practices like with this team?
Honestly, the quality was high week in, week out. We all pushed each other to improve. And obviously, when the quality is high with all of us, it makes each and every one of us better. We all worked hard together to come together and to complete a goal. We made sure that we trained hard every day, and yeah, honestly, training sessions was really good. We trained how we want to play, so the intensity was always high.
I think there's also a question here for Tyler. It took him 4 years to finally score a goal in training, and I know he's dying to talk about his goal. He's been working hard every training session to score it. Just talk us through how you scored that goal, Ty.
Yeah, I will do, Rich. I'm glad you brought that up. Just also wanted to take a second to highlight Rich's tash. Just wanted to get the group's overall opinion on that, and maybe a few of the people who are going to watch this stream. The goal, basically, it took me a while to break through to get that high up the pitch, but the season was coming to an end, and I thought it's now or never, do or die. Dan Somerset's obviously taken far too long on the ball. Just read his touch, went and met him, crunched him in a tackle. Cohen goal slightly too far over to the left, gave him the eyes and slotted it in the side netting, really. It was, I'm surprised it hasn't made, I did want to mention that to Lee, I'm surprised it didn't make any of the highlight clips, but what can you say? I'm just happy to keep chipping away and playing my part, and if that goal gave us the kick that we needed going into that weekend, I'm glad that I could have played my part.
Cheers, mate.
I don't really know where to go from there. Lee, with that group and as they talked about, from your perspective, what were those training sessions like? Obviously, I think that would have been your your fourth year with the program. Was there a difference in the way that practices were run with that group from what you've seen the previous three?
I think, to be honest, it was the fourth year was a lot less coaching and a lot more management. It was more operational. Day to day, it was, all right, recover from that game. How do we prepare for the next one? And trying to get the boys physically and mentally ready. I think technically, the boys had got to a level where it's very difficult to make big improvements. And then tactically, we had a consistency. We set up, pretty much the same throughout the regular season. And it was just recover and go again. So whereas now with a younger group, the coaching's a lot more intensive. It's a lot more X's and O's and trying to develop players. At that point, with such an experienced group, it sort of ran itself. The boys always had a great work ethic. They took care of themselves off the pitch. The camaraderie and the banter was always flying. So it was always a good vibe and a good feel around the team. So recover from one game, get prepared for the next, and keep going. And that's really what it was throughout the season. So my part was actually a lot easier, a lot more minimal than maybe what it is right now.
So you guys go into early October of that season. You've cracked into the top 10 of the country. I think at that point you were 7-1-1 on the year, or 8-0-1. Sorry, and you get that home match with Young Harris where you set the attendance record. You broke the attendance record twice for Van Taylor Stadium that season. But you have that top 10 match against Young Harris, and it goes the other way. Anyone that's wanting to talk about just how did you guys bounce back from that? Because I remember I wasn't at that game. I just remember thinking, that could have been a game where the season took a turn, and it didn't. You guys bounced back and beat, I think, Carson Newman the next game and got right back on track. How did that happen?
Well, from my point of view, it was it's, in hindsight, it's easy to say it, but I think even at the time, it was sort of an experiment for me as a coach and the coaching staff, because we thought we'd have a go. We thought we'd try and match them pound for pound, and they were a very, very good team and flying. And to be honest, we got it a little bit wrong tactically, and we didn't play well on the day. But it was almost after that game, we knew that if we'd see them again, or even two more times like we did, it's so hard to beat the same good team three times. And if we could choose which one we wanted to win, it would have been the regional championship. So it was almost, let's have a go, see how it goes. We got it wrong, but we knew we were still a good team, and it was really easy to bounce back from there. And as a coaching staff, we were quite happy, not happy that we lost, but excited in the sense that if we saw them again, we'd learn from it, knowing that they'd pretty much do the same thing again, and we'd adapt and get better, and ultimately we won the third time around. So I don't think it affected these boys at all, to be honest.
So go through the rest of the regular season, close it out on another winning streak, as I think you guys won, 5 of your next 6 to end the season with one draw, and go to Blanchard Woods Park to play Clayton State in the semifinals. What do you guys remember about that game? Because the only thing I remember about that game, I don't remember any of the action. I just remember the field. What do you guys remember from that game against Clayton State?
I'll say, you go. Who's going?
I'll go. I remember someone in the Clayton State wall say, he won't shoot from this free kick, so I had a shot. That's about all I remember. Someone else can take it from there.
I think never in doubt that we were going to go through, win those games. And like I said, it's like a keeper was waving to his man back home, I think, with that free kick. But no, that was never in doubt.
I was going to say same thing. Aussie's free kick is what I remember. But also, yeah, the state of the pitch, it was muddy, it was raining. I think that's the most I've ever seen Ty get his kit dirty, to be honest. But yeah, no, it was a good game. I mean, I don't think I played in that game either. Must have been injured. But yeah, for the boys done well.
So get through Clayton State, and as Lee referenced, you see Young Harris again in the championship. Goes into PKs, a very, very well played, well contested match. It goes their way in PKs. Lee, what was the message to that team once you got done? You got done with the tournament, and now you're getting to the part of the season where, as you mentioned, this was the goal. It wasn't necessarily the conference or the conference tournament. The goal was to get in position to make a run in the NCAA tournament. What was the message to the team once you guys got back from Evans, Georgia?
I guess the message to Sear was sort of forget about it, move on. He came up big the very next game, with the winner against Anderson, so we'll let him off. But like you said, the whole time, throughout the 4 years, the goal was to eventually build and build and build so that we could win a region title. And yeah, the regular season or the conference tournament would have been an added bonus, but it was just reset, refocus, and get ready for. We knew we were hosting a game which was nice, and teams were about to play, and again we played Anderson, who had already played. So trying to beat the same good team for a second time is never easy, but we found a way, and that was kind of the goal from there on out, was just to find a way to get to where we wanted to be, and these boys, one way or another, did that.
All right, so see, no need to wait any longer. Take us through double overtime against Anderson at home. Take us through that goal, one of the most memorable goals that I've seen since I've been here, and I would put it up against a lot of the goals that have been scored in Lander men's soccer history. Take us through that moment.
Well, first I thought you were going to ask about the pen, so I'm happy you didn't. Yeah, against Anderson, it was just lucky to be at the right place at the right time, really. Like, I knew we were dangerous on corners, and I just had a position in front of the goalkeeper, really. So Jordan or Kyle or anyone could just get their head on it. So I was just lucky to be in the right place at the right time to just put it in.
So he's not giving himself enough credit. Mr. Consistent. He's always in the right spot.
So you get the win over Anderson, and then you guys may not have remembered this, but I distinctly remember we were this close to hosting Tusculum in the regional final, because Tusculum I think they either were tied with Young Harris or had the lead late at Young Harris and lost it. And so when do you guys remember finding out that you were going to go see Young Harris again, this time at their place? You played them at home, you played them on a neutral side, now you had to go play them on their field for the region title.
I don't really remember when we found out in particular, but I remember when we knew we was playing Young Harris and it was going to be at their place. I felt all the boys that just come together and was like, this time we're not losing. Obviously we lost in the league. We got a bit of a batter in there. Obviously, then we lose on pens for the conference tournament final. I think now it was like, no, not again. This is our time now, and we all, come together, made sure that we went there with a game plan. We executed the game plan, and like I said, we made sure we weren't going to lose this time, and we didn't.
I don't think in the game plan there was a plan for Bryce to get sent off and us to ride our luck and be struggling for the last 10, 15 minutes and giving me an heart attack. That was never in the plan, though, Rich.
I know, but, clean sheet, which we got, and, take your chances on set pieces, which we did. But, yeah, I know. I think the Bryce one we was not expecting at all.
A massive save from Jacob towards the end as well, if you remember that one. That was massive.
That was a big save. I do remember that, yeah. And then a goal line scramble as well in the last minute.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I don't think we've ever defended consecutively that many corners. I think there was a period where they had a corner, we cleared it 4 times over.
That many good corners as well.
Yeah, Young Harris being Young Harris, quality players on that side, had 2 lads that would put the ball exactly where they wanted to put it. So we had to do our jobs, and sometimes even if everyone does the job, the other team still finds a way to get through. And I think that goal line scramble was, as close as it could have been to being a completely different game. But thankfully, like Rich said, we weren't losing that one that day.
And 90 shielding the ball right at the last. There was about 15 seconds left. Jacob went long, and 90 held the ball up when we was massively under pressure. That goes very unnoticed as well, considering he done well to see the game out.
I've just looked it up. In the last 13 minutes, they had 6 corner kicks. So for y'all faced six of them with a man down, and faced 3 in a row in like a 90-second span with 2 minutes to go. My favorite video ever since I've been here is that post game celebration. Just whoever wants to take it. What do you remember in the minutes and hours after that game ended? Because that was a wild scene down in Georgia.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Being such a big game and a huge win for us, especially with losing to them twice during the regular season and the tournament. It was a tough one because you want to be celebrating and excited about the win, but we had an even bigger game 2 days later, and I think that was one of our biggest problems, that it was such a big game and everyone was feeling so high from it. We had to then bring ourselves back down and play on exactly the same pitch, but against completely different oppositions. So it wasn't the same feeling as when you go and win. Like when we won the conference tournament, I think it was the year before. That's the tournament done. You can enjoy it. Whereas beating Young Harris in the regional final, we really had to try and bring ourselves, go back to the hotel, relax, bring ourselves back down for playing Barry in a few days' time.
Yeah, I agree with Ty. I think as soon as that final whistle went, there was an instant relief, and as you can tell from the video, everyone's happy and buzzing and celebrating. But yeah, straight after we got in the change room, it was a small celebration, and it was back to, we got Barry in 2 days, so let's get back to it.
So I think it's evident from the time that I spent with you guys and just people that are watching this and seeing it, this people really enjoyed being around each other. So in the last couple minutes, I won't start with Leach, but I'll open this up to whoever's willing to tell me one that I don't have to edit too much. What was the best trip of that season? Because I know that from being around y'all, some of the best times were when you guys were on those buses or making those trips down. What was the best trip of that year, Leach?
Cancun.
Yeah, we can write those off, can't we? Early doors, Cancun. To be honest with you, it was honestly all the trips were good. Being around those types of lads day in, day out, that type of game, it's going to come. You're ready for it. You're prepared for it. You're in and around class players daily, so it makes your job easier on the pitch. It's talent for talent, not one of these players. It's crap. Like you're playing around different players each day, but it's really good. But yeah, I would say all of them, to be honest. I was buzzing to get on the bus every time we were playing a game, an away game. It just made the trip, knowing the lads you are around, they're just quality players, and hopefully you'll get that win as well.
Favorite memory from that season that wasn't we won a game, all off the pitch. Favorite memory from that 2018 season. Sin and C, I'll let you guys start.
I think on the bus we used to play Wolf. Those were good times. Enjoyed those. Made the trip a little better. But yeah, no. To be honest, the whole season was just unreal. I wish I could relive it.
I would say the same. And obviously, the Young Harris game was so good. I think if we had a bus ride back home, I think that bus ride would probably be the best one. But we didn't. And also, if we won against Barry, that would have been even better. But no. But as I said, most of the bus rides were good, and especially if you played further away and you stayed the night or something, we always had fun at the hotels. So yeah, I just loved every moment of it, really.
Rickson, I know it's hard not to talk about the games and stuff, but I think it was the season before that where I just can't help but talk about was Mike Leach's winner against Young Harris. In overtime. I think we all say that I was our best memory there of the game, just him scoring that goal and putting his t-shirt over his head and celebrating. That is honestly the all-time, I think, favourite celebration of the game and best feeling. But again, what Sia and Sin said, I think the bus journeys we had, the hotels after winning games and just going back to the hotel and celebrating with each other, it's the best experience, and all the banter you have with the boys, you'll never forget it. ever for the rest of your life. It's just a great experience we all had together.
I think that's the thing as well for me to jump in, Rickson, was, you know, as you've mentioned, there was great players, but as well as that, there was never really a bad lad. You know, like there was always a good locker room, which is massive, and the football will take care of itself. You know, and I was just thinking there, like when Rich mentioned Leach's goal, like there's been some ridiculous goals scored over the time that I was there. I remember Aussies against North Georgia. I remember Jamie North's free kick. You know, I remember the one Leachy scored. It was like from outside of the box, he smashed it straight across the goalkeeper, and he's just turned around and put his arms out. I forget who it was who ran into him, but like goals like that, where you just think, "Wow, what a worldie that is," you know. And there was times where good football matched with really good people. It's a perfect match.
Well, I think that's a good note to end this thing on, guys. I appreciate all of you coming in and taking some time and giving people kind of a peek behind the curtain of what that 2018 season was like. It's a group and a team that I'm certainly never going to forget, and I think a lot of Bearcat fans will say the same thing. So thank you guys for those memories, and also for this one. This was live.
Thanks
for getting together, Rick. Thank you.
Cheers, Rick.
Cheers, boys.
Hope you are all good, boys.
You too, lads.
Take care of yourselves, lads.
Yeah, stay safe.
Boys. See you in a bit.
In a bit.
See you later.